If you're a heavy social network fan or someone who's actively participating in one of the photo sharing sites, or a person that really loves to keep up with the latest news feeds, web browsing can be kind of a complicated activity. You're always clicking back and forth between a web page you're reading and the page of your social network to check on the status of your friends. But now there's a new web browser that aims to solve that problem. Hi, I'm Walt Mossberg, personal technology columnist for the Wall Street Journal, and this week I'm going to tell you about Flock. Now, Flock is a specialized web browser primarily aimed at people who are the most active in social networks, photo sharing sites, and who are also bloggers, any of those categories. And I've been testing it for about a week. Flock has good bones. It is really a modification of the really excellent Firefox web browser, but Flock adds certain features that are not present in Firefox. For instance, and most importantly, along the left side of the browser in Flock is something called the Sidebar. And this Sidebar can display a number of things. It can display, for instance, your list of friends in Facebook or some other social network. It can display your list of contacts in Flickr or Picasa web albums or another photo sharing site. It can also be used as a special web clipboard so that images or snippets of text from web pages in the main window can just be dragged over and either stored for later use or shared with a friend on one of these social networks. Flock also has another kind of bar, this time not along the side but along the top of the browser, called the media bar. And if you are on a photo sharing or social networking site where people can post pictures or videos, or if you want to click on the photo or video collection of somebody in the sidebar, this horizontal bar across the top opens up and fills with photos and videos. You can then view them. If you hover over them, they get a little bigger. You can email them, you can share them, you can post them to a blog. In the middle of all this is still your main browser window with tabs, relatively undisturbed by these two bars. Flock has a number of other features. It lets you check popular webmail accounts like Gmail and Yahoo Mail without navigating to the Gmail or Yahoo Mail page. And in general, its central design principle is allow you to keep doing or reading whatever you're doing in the main web window, but keep you up to date and allow you to do a variety of things in these other modules. I tested it. I used it with Flickr, I used it with Facebook, I used it with Picasa. I used its built-in blog editor and publisher to post to a test blog that I maintain for these reviews. In general, I would say it worked fine, it worked well, it kept its promises. But, and there's always a but, there are some downsides to Flock. It certainly is not for everybody. For one thing, you need a really big monitor, I think, or a really high-resolution, smaller monitor to get the most out of Flock, because the sidebar and the media bar shrink the main browser window and the tabs and the bookmarks or links you might have across the top, to the point where if you don't have a large screen or a high-resolution screen, you're going to be doing a lot of scrolling. And even if you do, you're still going to see less screen real estate in the main window and fewer tabs and so forth across the top. Secondly, it's frenetic, it's busy, it's very distracting. After all, the main thing you're doing when you're using a web browser is reading the page you're on. And while it is nice to have all your social networking contacts, for instance, over on the side, always with you, never changing, they can also be a distraction if somebody submits a friend request or a new photo is up, it's a distraction, and the whole overall image of the thing on the screen has just a lot going on. And then third, it only works with services that it supports. And in fairness, it supports most of the big ones, but there are some glaring omissions. One, probably the most obvious one, is MySpace, but the company's working on that, says it will have it next month when it goes final with its second version of Flock. But there are some others. Hotmail isn't there. Windows Live Spaces, which is a very popular blogging platform, isn't there. SmugMug, which is an elegant photo sharing site, isn't there, and there are more. So my bottom line is Flock is clever. It mostly keeps its promises. It is something that might well appeal to a heavy social networker, someone who can't wait to see the status updates on their friends. But for most people, it's probably overkill. This is Walt Mossberg, and I'll see you next week.